Please wait 30 seconds. Your video will begin shortly following this brief commercial break.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as Autocad, Solidworks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 818-217-0380. That's 818-217-0380.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to my channel. We have a lot of exciting stuff here happening on the Adrian Graphics and Marketing channel, and today I'm going to show you just something very simple that I think you may need some help with if you are using Photoshop. So today's going to be a Photoshop tutorial, and I'm going to show you how to use the text tool. There's a lot of little idiosyncrasies about the text tool, and if you're not using some of these features, you're missing out. So I want to make sure that you know the full capability of the text tool, and we're going to just create a new project today. So what we're going to do is we're going to Command or Control N. We're going to open up a new project here, and let's just pick any size document. It doesn't really matter. In fact, I could even just go over here to web. We could find something that we like, maybe just something simple, or we just start with a blank canvas. That's probably what we'll do here. We'll just go with a blank canvas, just a custom.
Please wait 30 seconds. Your video will begin shortly following this brief commercial break.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as Autocad, Solidworks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 818-217-0380. That's 818-217-0380.
Let's see if we can find 600 by 600. There we go. And we're going to change this to 300 just so I have a nice, clean, large image that I can use for other things. All right, so here we are. So we're going to use the text tool today. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab this little text tool right here. You're going to click, and you can see if you click and hold or right click, you can see there's two different types of directional text. There's horizontal type tool, and then there's the vertical. So if you want to type vertically, you can type with this tool, and if you want to type horizontal, which what you're going to use mostly, you would use this tool. So what you're going to do is you can click once like this, and it'll put out some text wherever you want it to put, just putting some random words there. But if you actually want to have a box where you can align it in the center, this is more of a free-formed kind of a text just drop, where you're just dropping it. It's going to be a little harder to kind of work.
Please wait 30 seconds. Your video will begin shortly following this brief commercial break.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as Autocad, Solidworks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 818-217-0380. That's 818-217-0380.
Workaround. So what you want to do is maybe go into here, and you can see here up in my guides, if you look in this area, my guides, I'm actually going to keep my text right around there on that side, and I'm going to do the same thing so it's even on both sides. So we have 1, 2 little lines in there, and bam. So anything I put now, if I want to center the text, if I want it to be on the left, I want it to be on the right, it's going to completely be easy to control. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to type out something like googleagency.com. Okay, then we're going to highlight the text. I'm going to center it because I want it to look really nice. Then we're going to make this just a little bit bigger. So here we go. We got 14, right? Now I'm going to use my move tool just to get off that text. There's other ways to do it, but that's just the way I do it. Makes it simple and easy. You can also hit the escape tool, but sometimes I can remove your text, so I don't like really doing that and taking the chance. And then what you got to do here is with the text tool is we're going to go down, and obviously we're going to pick a better font. So this is your text panel. This is going to give you a ton of features and functionalities, and this is some stuff that I see a lot of graphic designers not taking advantage of. So here's your size. So this is where you get to pick your custom size font, anywhere from 6 point and smaller. You can enter it manually as well, all the way up to 72. These are the standard text ranges. I try to, for myself, to try to stick to these, but occasionally I need to put in my own custom one, like 6.5 or 9.5 or 10.5, things like that. So that's a really important tool. So for this, we're currently at 14. I'm gonna go down just a little bit smaller because I'm gonna do some stuff to this.
Please wait 30 seconds. Your video will begin shortly following this brief commercial break.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as Autocad, Solidworks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 818-217-0380. That's 818-217-0380.
Monotype your sans, Open Sans, Avenir, which is one of my better fonts. I love that font. Avenir LT-STD. And then there's also the stylizing of those fonts. So if you have certain fonts, they're going to have different options. And what you can do here is you can see the ones that have arrows next to them are going to have other options like bold, italic, black. And you can see here we have book, we have Roman. Now watch how the text changes. We have Roman, so just made it a little bit more bold, didn't really do a whole lot. You have medium, which brings back that roundness to it, which I really like this one. I think this is gonna be the one I end up using. And then you have black, and black is always like the super bold. I like that, but I'm going for something a little more Google-ish, so without stealing from Google here. And then what you have is if you have multiple lines of text, you have this box, and this is what's gonna separate each line. So let me show you what I mean. Let me hit the T tool, T on your keyboard, and you should be able to, it'll open up your text tool over here. Then what you're going to do is I'm going to actually click enter, and I'm going to put something down here below it. Your advertising specialist. Whoops. There we go. Your advertising specialist. Let's see, now what I'm doing, I'm highlighting this text. I'm actually going to go up in here, and I want to make this a little thinner. So I'm going to go Roman, right, instead of the black. Then I'm going to click in here, and like I said, you can do this manually. You can enter in your own size, or you can hit the down arrow or up arrow to go up. So I'm actually going to click this down and just keep going down until it fits. I think that's a pretty good size. Now you'll notice here with the text, if I click off of this and just leave it by itself, you can see those two I's in advertising. They're really, really close to the G. I don't really want them to be that close. What I want is I'm going to click this text again, and I'm actually going to separate it just like I showed you in here. But I'm going to click inside the box where it's highlighted, or just click in it. It doesn't have to be highlighted. And then I'm going to start to click up or down. So as you can see here, as I click up, it spaces that out. Gives me a little bit more room. That's about right. I think that's a better look. And then what I can do here is I can also adjust the metric. So you can separate it by distance on each of the, whoops, let me actually highlight it first before I do that. So we're going to copy this, and you can sort it 0, and it's actually not going to let me. I think you have to do it in between. This is for kerning letters. So if you want to go see, you can actually adjust it. So if you actually click here under Alt or Option, and you click in a letter, say something is too far apart or you want to spread these out. So I'm going to hold down Alt, and I'm going to go arrow to the right, and you can see over here it starts to change. So watch, Alt, 20, 40 apart, 60 apart. It goes by 20, 80 apart, 100 apart. See, and I can do the same thing. I can click here, Alt or Option, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, there we go. Or 100. I think I did 100 over here. I'm going to do 100 over there. So I matched it up. Your advertising specialist. It separates the word. That's kerning. You can do that with letters, and you can do that in between words. There's a lot of ways to use kerning. It's really effective. And then there's another kerning tool here. If I select this, I can actually click over here, and now I can separate all these letters at the same time. So if I want to have them be 100 apart, I can do that. If I want them to have them be 200 apart, I can do that, and it just keeps distancing them. I'll obviously have to make the font smaller if I wanted to do that, so I could do something like this, which I'm really liking. It's small, but it's still fairly readable. And then what I'll probably do is I'm going to use this tool right here, which is the capitalization tool. It makes everything all caps. So boom, now I made that just a little bit bigger. What I'll probably have to do is I'm going to cut this kerning down just a little bit. I'll enter it manually because it allows you to do that. So we'll go 150. Okay, maybe we'll try whoops, not that there. Let's try this again. Let's just go in here manually. We're going to type in 120. close. We can go to 110. I think 100 is actually just going to end up being perfect. So let's see here. Let's do 100. There we go. Yeah, 100 was perfect. So now we have that there. I showed you how to do the all caps. This lets you italicize it. So if you have any font, you can actually do a faux italic. I don't really do it very often, but if it's your thing, you like to do italicized fonts, then you can use that for whatever design you have. And then this is the bold. So aside from the text,
Please wait 30 seconds. Your video will begin shortly following this brief commercial break.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as Autocad, Solidworks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 818-217-0380. That's 818-217-0380.
styling of it being bold. Some of the fonts don't have that ability to make them bold within the text options. But what you can do here is you can actually use Photoshop and you can bold it up a little bit. If you want to add more bold to it, then I would suggest probably going in and adding a stroke to the font, but that's for another video for another day. So that's that right there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to bring this back up. Now the other trick is, you remember how I saw we spaced up different lines of text, and right now it's at 12. Well, what I want to do is I actually want to bring that up. So I've already highlighted it. I'm going to do it without even having to click in here. If I hold Alt or Option and I click drag and I click the arrow up, I can go arrow up or arrow down. You can see it changing over there on the right hand side. So I'm actually going to bring it just a little bit closer there for this one because I think it looks nice now. Awesome. And I'm actually going to make this plural so we can go your advertising specialists. I think that looks good, and I'm going to actually bring this in just a little bit more. And I can do here is I can actually stretch the words. Now you got to be careful with this. You don't really want to mess with this too much because you're actually taking each individual letter and making it wider or narrower, and you're editing the existing font, and I don't really suggest that. I do it sometimes a pixel or two or a point or two just to be able to fit something like this. So if you can see here, I go down by 3, 1, 2, 3. That makes it perfect, and you can't really tell. It's such an insignificant drop, but I wanted to make sure that these two are equally lined up. So that's right there, a lot of the text tool, but there's some other great features that I'm going to show you now. So if you go in here, you can actually highlight just half of this text, and you can go into the color, and you can adjust your color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use red, white, and blue for this design. So I'm going to use a little bit darker of a blue, like E3000 there. So we're going to have Google agency like that, right? Nice and clean. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I actually want to do something with the .com so it's not overtaking it. So I'm actually going to put the .com. See if you see this little marker here. This is called a subscript. So it actually puts there at the top. So I could actually have the .com be in here like this if I like that, which I don't, but I can actually do that if I wanted to. Whoops, let me go back here. I just re-highlight this text, turn off the subscript. I can have it to be on the bottom of the text, so they call it subscript as well. It's a bottom subscript, and then if you need to, you can adjust this by just clicking up and down here. So you can go 2, 3, up, however much you want it. If you want your .com to be small and you don't want it overtaking your name, this is a really good way to do it. I'm going to leave it the way it is. Whoops, and I'm not going to underline it. That's the underline tool, and this is the strikeout tool. So these are all just really great things and functionalities you can use. Now you'll notice there's 3 little lines here, and let me make sure that this is back to 0. There we go. There's 3 little lines that you notice here. If you have any issues with your fonts, maybe you bought a font from somewhere, or you downloaded a font from a not as reputable website, sometimes those fonts need to be reset. You'll see they'll look kind of pixelated. Well, there's actually a reset character feature here that will completely bring it back to a stock font and reset everything. So you'll have to go back and put that back. So what I'll do here is I'll click this. You'll see here, boom.
Please wait 30 seconds. Your video will begin shortly following this brief commercial break.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as Autocad, Solidworks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 818-217-0380. That's 818-217-0380.
Maybe it wasn't. Let's see. Let's find out what it was. It was E3000, I remember. Or was it B3000? Let's see. It was a little darker. BE3000. There it was. I just saw it. Sorry about that. Let's grab this right here. Come on. Whoops. There we go. So we got the same color font again. I really like the way this looks. It's clean, it's simple, and the colors are okay too. So this is a lot of what you can do with the text tool. There's some other things like the faux bold, faux italics, small caps like we saw here, and these are just the full text options. So this gives you the full menu of it, kind of everything that's under there, underline, strike through, just like they have, and these little icons. These are basically shortcuts to doing that. So a lot of great things you can do. Looks like you could even adjust it crisp, smooth, strong. There's different features in here. I don't ever use these. I just focus on what the fonts that I have are really good fonts to begin with, so I don't really need to do a whole lot of changing of them. I just leave them as stock as they are. So a lot of great stuff here. I hope this helps you understand the text tool a lot better. There's just a lot of functionalities. The last thing actually that I want to show you is there's one more thing you can do, and it's not in the text panel, but it's something you can do to your text. So, which is up here. You'll notice there's a tool. It's a warp tool, warp text tool. You'll notice here you can hit arc. What I can actually do is I can adjust this, and I can bring this down, and I can actually put a little arc to my text. It can be 8, 9, 10. I can go as high as I want. Obviously, the more I stretch it, the funnier the text looks, so don't overdo it. I would really suggest keeping it simple. And then you have arc lower, which is just going to bring the bottom down, and it's going to leave the top flat. You can see here the design right here, what it is actually going to do to the text. You can have an upper arc, a lower arc, just a straight arc. You can do a bulge so it comes out and it bows on the top and the bottom, just like it shows here, kind of bulges out. You have a shell. I don't really use a whole lot of these. There's not really a reason for it for me. I don't do that type of artwork, but the only one that I really do use on a regular basis is the arc text. So I use this one pretty often if I'm doing posters and things like that, or any design for restaurants. I can use those. And then there's also another way to use your text tool. Let me just go back here, show you one more thing before we wrap up this video. So let me show you. So if I use a path, we just change this up here to path, I can actually draw a shape, right? We'll just do it about the same size as our graphic here. There we go. It actually gave me my smart guides, which I have my smart guides turned on. I'm going to make sure that this path is centered on a new layer. Let's grab this path. So I want to grab this. There we go. We're going to bring this over here. Okay. Now what I can do with the text tool is you hit T on your keyboard again, and what you want to do is hit Alt or Option, and you're going to click. You're going to see your text change like this, and you're going to hit that right there. Google Advertising Certified Partner, right? So we can do something like that, and I can make the text bigger and go up in here, or I can go back to my text palette. I can make it bigger here, or I can make it smaller, right? If I want to make it nice and small, and then I can kern them out again, make it look, I can go 200, and if you actually click in here, like I said, you can enter these manually. I hold shift and it'll jump a lot bigger distance, and then you can do something like this where you actually have it, there we go, and you can have it just be a circle all the way around. Kind of cool. So there's a lot of cool features, and you can do it on a path rather than just a circle. I just use a circle. You can do custom shapes. You can actually use the pen tool and draw your own pen. So if I were to go in here, maybe pull this up right like this, and then I'm going to go here, I'm going to pull this up over here and make a nice little straight path. I can turn off the fill. I can make sure that all my stuff is turned off there. Now I go back to my text tool, do the same thing where I'm using that. I have my text aligned, and look at, I can drop some text right in there just like that. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do with text, styling your text, and this text tool in the palette, in your palette over here, which is part of your workspace, is what you want to use for pretty much everything. There's just a couple little extra bells and whistles like the graphic up there to arc your text, and then actually using your path. So that's all I got for you today on the text tool. I know we went pretty deep, but this is important information for you to really be able to take a next step and move your design skills up when you're going to be able to save some time, which time is worth more than money. So hope you guys have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. And by the way, if you guys found this video helpful, please go to my channel and hit subscribe, and make sure you hit this little bell to get all the updates on everything we got coming. I got a lot of great tutorials, a lot of great content, stuff that's going to help you learn and earn a lot more. God bless you guys, and as always, keep looking up.
Please wait 30 seconds. Your video will begin shortly following this brief commercial break.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as Autocad, Solidworks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 818-217-0380. That's 818-217-0380.